Yes, it is official. Lady Sybil is Batman. Hello, chicks and girls. Yes, I saw episode 3 of The Woods. I just couldn't stop myself. I had to watch it and make this video and tell you all about how bad or not bad it was, and oh boy, it was. It was bad. Let's get to what we learned in this episode about the characters and the plot. We have a revelation, starting with this episode in a flashback where we see that Lady Sybil, as a child, 20 years ago, she saw an assassin murder her parents. So that's a complication since, the group has to infiltrate the Guild of Assassins in order to find a legendary MacGuffin to save the city from the dragon. And it seems to me like this episode will explore a different institution of Morpok. We had the Woods in episode 1, we had the Unseen University in episode 2, we have the Assassins Guild in episode 3, and some of the Musicians Guild too. And the next episode is also about another guild. Probably. I'm not quite sure, we have 8 episodes left, and I believe we'll go through a lot of the institutions in the city. It feels like it tries to be The Wire, but this isn't The Wire, because for once The Wire could be funny, and The Woods could be funny too, but in order to do that, they would have to keep a consistent mood throughout the episode, and the mood in this series flip-flops a lot. Most of the episode was very dour and was trying to be dramatic. Some of it was funny, and some of it was actually action-packed good. But we talk about how the episode was dour. So yes, we had some of the OMG some random gags in this one. The group of the Woodsmen have to disguise themselves as a punk band, and they have to be parts of the Musicians Guild to go along with their infiltrations type of plan. I'm not quite certain. In order to do that, they have to go as a band. They have to go as a band. I keep pronounce the word band as bad. But you can pronounce anything in the series bad, come to think of it, and they have to cover the Dwarfen classic Gold, Gold, Gold. And you know what, that's a very funny gag. You just throw them on the scene, they play those 3 chords, and they shout gold, 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 and maybe, some one of them would bang mugs together or throw axes at the audience. It could be very funny. Especially the fact that the only word that dwarves would use for a song is gold. That's a great gag. And the production team screws it up because they ruin the joke. They have other words in the lyrics instead of gold, and also some faux Germanic made-up words for gold thrown in there too. And it sounds like a very bad cover band of Rammstein at its best, and it's kind of fun in a meta way. But then it all just goes to hell. Meanwhile, we have Lady Sybil. She is searching the Ass Guild. As they go there, they make this joke about the Ass Guild for the legendary MacGuffin. And while she's there, she finds the killer of her parents, and she abandons the plan and goes out and seeks revenge. And many shenanigans ensue as she is in the Assassin's Guild, as well as the rest of the Woods is in the Assassin's Guild, and lots of things happen. And there is some good bits here and there, especially the confrontation with Alice. I actually like the small scene where Death appears. I like Death in this one, because he brings a lot of the personality of the Death we know and love, and there's a great change of pace from how the rest of the series is. And I still don't get Veterinary in this episode too. She appears later on, and she doesn't count for me. When I first saw Veterinary in episode 1, I thought she was a secretary of Veterinary, and Chancellor brings nothing of the sardonic Machiavellian patriarch we know and love from the books, and that's a big shame. However, not all gender flips are bad. because Dr. Crassus definitely was a win for me. Yes, I know there's a woman too in this series, but she conveys a lot of the twisted corporate mindset of the Assassin's Guild.
Barton Wallace. Client says he'll be alone in his office tonight, but for this kind of money, I think we can safely say that won't be the case. Laugh.
And the whole procedures of the Assassin Guild and the way she acts and the way the assassins act, and her small revelation of her big secret identity, they were all fun. And you know what? Sometimes the showrunners can get some of the prosthetisms right, and they can do some fun gags too. And I know, a lot of people will shout, this is woke trash about all those women and the show, all those women in power, but the more I watch the show, the more I'm convinced that the showrunners want to make a point about how a society run by women will lead to hellscape, because it's all about getting along with others and all with the other girls. And yes, we have to make some deals with the devil, and maybe we'll take some irrational decisions, and we'll make the whole system break down. And it's sort of like the last two seasons of Doctor Who. It's a big, I'm not sure if it's a mistake or it's a dig about how women do everything worse than men. Sorry, I see nothing woke about this. It's alright to see other genders and other races instead of white men in TV shows. I get that, and I think that the world kind of makes it work. And again, the source material pretty much also allows for that, the way it's done and the way it's used. But I think that those women are written too masculine. They're written basically as their male counterparts, and it's just funny. I think that they should have missed some of the gender bends, have more men in positions of power, so it wouldn't look like women are incompetent. It would look like everybody in the series is incompetent, regardless of race or gender, except for Carrot. Carrot is actually quite great. But that's Carrot from the books. He's a great leader that doesn't want to lead. Enough about the politics of a series based on comical books. And yeah, I'm currently in the editing phase, and I just realized I made 0 mentions of this amazing plot point of Corsair being in Vine's thoughts via magic, because it's dumb. It's so dumb I had to forget it ever existed, and it's pointless. Let's talk about the episode overall, because yeah, that's all I had to say. There were some tackles here and there. There is some scaffolding on which you can make a decent series out of, but overall I felt that a big part of the episode was dour, and it tried to be serious and dramatic while just rehashing a lot of tired tropes and bland run-of-the-mill fantasy police action drama. And I mean, the show pretends to be punk rock, but it mostly delivers guard energy, and that's quite bad. There's nothing punk about the show. It's too corporate, too predictable, too safe. And even the risks and the chance it takes, it's very safe. It lacks the brilliance of Sir Terry Pratchett. Of course, I mean, there's nothing they can do about it. When they rehash some of his stuff, it's fun. Like what I was saying, the communist goblins in episode 1 and 2. There are no communist goblins in this one. There is a goblin, and the goblins are definitely my favorite. And as somebody stated in the comments, they're supposed to be golems from Feet of Clay. And yes, it's not back. I thought it was something from Motion Regiment, which I have not read yet. But no, it was from Feet of Clay, and it makes sense. Yeah, there's other tidbits here. I think that Corsair Dunn is working for the auditors from The Hogfather and Soul Music. maybe we'll see at the big finale we'll have some soul music connections too. This series is very half-baked. There is obviously too much meddling with the material to make it work. So yeah, that was it. Episode 3 of The Watch is trying to be punk rock, but it's not. End of story. I'd love to hear your opinions if you watched this episode. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, because yeah, I'm doing this series to the end. And thank you for watching. Have fun.